Did you know that the original Bluey series looked nothing like what we know today? And just so you know, there isn't just one Bluey pilot episode, but actually two. Before becoming the phenomenon that officially premiered on Australian TV in October 2018, Bluey was already taking her first steps back in 2016. In the first very short pilot episode, we follow Bandit and Bluey on a simple stroll through the city park. The episode shows only 4 characters: Bluey, Bandit, Mackenzie, and Rusty. The detail is that at the time only 2 of them had names: Bluey, the star of the show, and Rusty, who wasn't called Rusty, but actually Mackenzie. It's a bit confusing, but we're going to explain everything properly right here in this video. Bandit and a younger version of Bluey than the one we know today play on a swing set, and it all ends with an incredible maneuver by Bluey and Bandit on the ground after taking a hit from Bluey herself. Then, in 2017, the second pilot episode was made, which sounds much more familiar since it ended up turning into the episode The Weekend from the first season. Curiously, despite officially being the first episode made, The Weekend ended up not being the first episode of Bluey, but rather the 6th in the series. Even though it looks like the episode you and I have already watched, it is completely different, as we are going to show you in this video. Actually, we're going to show you everything that was different in these 2 pilot episodes starting right now. Get ready, because we are about to blow your mind. One of the easiest differences to notice between the pilot episodes and the final version of Bluey appears before the episode even starts. The intro. The creator's initial idea was for the music to be super upbeat and played by an Australian band, making the identity of the country where the series was born very clear right off the bat. This one you are seeing is the intro, but we can't play the music because it is copyright protected, and if we put it in, YouTube will take down this video. But when the animation took its definitive shape, this proposal changed a lot. The opening started to have a more refined sound, played by an orchestra, giving it that vibe that every fan recognizes instantly. Another curious change is in the dance. Today we see the whole Healer family moving in a fun way, but back in 2016, in the pilot, the scene was much simpler. Only Bluey appeared, repeating a single dance move, and it doesn't stop there. The lyrics of the song were also different, and even the look of Bluey herself was still far from the version that won over the public. Then in 2017, the intro underwent new adjustments. The background got lighter shades of blue, and the style started to get very close to what became the official version. It was the sign that Bluey was getting closer and closer to becoming the cartoon that we love today. In the 2016 pilot, the story starts by showing something very different from what we are used to. Bluey arrives at the park still in a stroller, accompanied by Bandit. This makes it clear that, in this initial version, she would be much younger, less than 4 years old, far from the Bluey of the official series, who is 7 and already masters games like no one else. This change didn't happen by chance. If Bluey remained that small, Bingo simply wouldn't have space in the story, and the dynamic between the 2 sisters, which is one of the most beloved parts of the cartoon, might not even exist. And the differences don't stop there. In the pilot, Bluey is super excited to play on the swing and asks Bandit to push her higher and higher. But the situation gets out of control when he gets distracted, looking at his cell phone, causing Bluey to do a full loop on the swing set, creating a very risky scene. This detail did not please the Australian channel that aired the episode at all. The concern was clear, not to show situations that could seem dangerous or encourage accidents. The result? This scene ended up being cut, and that is why many people have never seen this moment from the pilot.
Bluey?
Still in the 2016 pilot, while Bluey plays on the swing, 2 little friends appear who draw a lot of attention. One of them is Mackenzie, and the other is a border collie that didn't even have a name in this initial phase. But that is where things get weird. Today everyone knows that Mackenzie is exactly the border collie, but in the pilot the roles seem swapped. In one of the scenes, Bluey calls for Mackenzie, and the one who answers is Rusty, the red Kelpie dog. This indicates that originally Mackenzie was going to be Rusty's name, and not the character we know today. At some point in development, the creators decided to reorganize everything: names, breeds, and even the importance of the characters. And this change was so big that there is an even bigger curiosity behind all this. In the initial idea, Rusty was going to be the true protagonist of the series. Did you know that? Now the question remains: if this had gone forward, would the cartoon really be called Bluey? Or would we be watching a cartoon called Rusty? In the pilot episode, you can tell that the appearance of this character wasn't totally defined yet. His fur changes from one scene to another, something that doesn't happen in the final version of the series. At times, the fur appears mixed between white and black, with the legs having different colors from each other. But, curiously, the first time he appears on screen, both legs are the same, with black fur and white paws. This inconsistency shows that the design was still in the testing phase. Later on, the creators adjusted these details to make the character more visually balanced, keeping a pattern that would be pleasant and easy to recognize, and that made all the difference. Now's the time to do the right thing. So go ahead and click the subscribe button below and give us that extra support so we can keep making awesome videos like this one. In both the 2016 episode and the 2017 version, Bandit already appears, but it isn't exactly the same Bandit who became the Mr. Healer that everyone loves today. If you pay attention to the pilot, you can notice several differences in his look. In the first version, Bandit had a boxier body, a less rounded look, and his belly was totally blue. In the official version, he became taller, more cuddly, and with a yellow belly, making the character more expressive and charismatic for the play scenes. And it wasn't just the visual that changed. In the pilot, Bandit appears distracted playing on his cell phone in a game that looks a lot like the famous Fruit Ninja while pushing Bluey on the swing, but this idea ended up being discarded. The team realized that portraying the image of a distracted father in a situation like that wasn't a positive or safe message. The result? The scene was cut, the character's behavior was adjusted, and thus was born the more attentive, participatory, and playful Bandit that we know today. The 2017 pilot episode also holds several differences regarding what ended up making it into the official series. Despite being an initial version of The Weekend, a lot of things there follow a very different path from what we saw later. In this version, Bingo appears in the kitchen eating cereal when Bandit excitedly announces that the weekend has arrived and that they will be able to play as much as they want. That is when Bluey appears out of nowhere with a crazy idea. She hands a mysterious letter to her dad with a drumstick hidden inside, starting the game. Bluey asks Bingo to pretend to be a statue while trying to convince Bandit that it is a magic statue for sale. He ends up joining the game and, of course, realizes later that he fell for a prank by his daughters. The game only ends when Bingo gets distracted by something totally unexpected, a bug in the garden that looks like a leaf, which in the pilot version was also different from the one shown in the official episode, ending the confusion in a very curious way. This would be officially the little dog's first adventure in the series, but something changed along the way. In the final release, the premiere went to Magic Xylophone, while The Weekend was pushed to the 6th position of the season. To this day, no one knows for sure the reason for this swap. In the 2017 pilot, the story already starts with a very peaceful scene, Bingo singing while having breakfast. But if you observe carefully, you will realize that the kitchen is practically another place when compared to the version that officially aired. To start, on the pilot's table, there is a pitcher of water, while in the final episode, it was swapped for a pitcher of juice. Bingo's bowl didn't escape the changes either. In the pilot, what looks like oatmeal is served in a light green bowl. In the original version, this becomes real cereal, served in a dark green bowl with stars. The furniture also underwent a makeover. The table and chairs in the pilot are lighter, almost neutral. In the official episode, they gain exposed wood, making the environment cozier. Even the surrounding scenery changed. Where there used to be a pink piece of furniture, now we have a window very close to the table, bringing more light to the scene. And there are more details that only appear in the final version, like the fruit basket and the change in the wall colors, which went from the white of the pilot to a vibrant yellow in the original. All of this shows that, in Bluey, even breakfast was carefully thought out. The bathroom scene is one of those that, at first glance, seem practically the same in both the pilot and the official version. But as always in Bluey, the details give away several hidden changes. In the pilot, the bathroom walls appear in a purple tone, and you can still notice a to-do list hanging up, suggesting that someone there was very organized. In the original episode, everything changes. The walls become green, and that list simply disappears, which makes many people joke that Bandit probably forgot to do the chores. Even what Bluey is doing changes. In the pilot version, she appears reading an orange book without many visible details. In the final version, the book becomes green, and judging by the cover, seems to talk about teeth, fitting much better with the educational vibe of the cartoon. Small swaps, but ones that show how every scene was adjusted with care before reaching the public. The living room of the episode also went through several transformations between the pilot and the final version. In the pilot, the environment is much simpler, with white walls, a giraffe poster hanging in the background, and a double door with a transparent section. To top it off, a picture of a dog wearing glasses still appears, a detail that ended up not surviving the official version. In the original episode, all of this changes. The picture is swapped, the door stops being a double door, and the giraffe poster simply disappears, leaving the room with a cleaner look that is more similar to what we see throughout the series. And the scene gets even more curious when Bandit appears watching a baseball game, a detail that remains in both versions. But the way everything happens is quite different. In the pilot, Bluey and Bingo are on top of their dad playing, while the environment looks more like a mixture of a study room with a play space. In the original, the scene happens in a common living room, cozier and more family-like. Even Bandit's position changes. In the pilot, he is on one side of the screen, and in the final version, he moves to the opposite side, completely changing the composition of the scene. Today, Bluey is known all over the world, and many people associate this success with Disney, which helped take the animation to various countries. But the most curious thing is that, way back then, in the 2016 pilot, You could already tell that the creators had this in mind. If you look closely, Bluey herself had spots on her back that looked a lot like Mickey's silhouette. It wasn't anything confirmed, of course, but the reference was there, almost like a discreet nod to Disney. In the official version, this idea became much simpler, just 3 small spots, less flashy, but still loaded with meaning for those who like to hunt for hidden details. And Bluey wasn't the only one to undergo changes. Bingo also had her look adjusted. In the pilot, she had a large spot on her back, very evident. Over time, this changed. In the original series, Bingo gained several smaller spots, making the look more balanced and closer to the style we know today. Since we know you love videos full of references, details, and Easter eggs, we're leaving 2 really cool ones so you can stay right here with us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.